Aloha. Today I wanted to kind of expand off of the last video. I was talking about the Big Hat University, and that's kind of like how our energy fields and our reality is affected on a macro scale. And I wanted to kind of like zoom in on how that same system affects us on a micro scale or our own physical body, and relate it to the ionic emissions that we both download in our bodies and that we share and that are part of the system and part of the whole experience itself. So basically, if you look into the ions, negative and positive ions are actually, for example, well, ions itself are the atomic level atoms either gaining an electron or losing an electron. And the best example of positive and negative ions that are around us are negative ions are actually like oxygen, like O2, that gains an electron. And that can be found in like nature, in the waterfalls, in the forests, and springs, and all the stuff that's our natural connections to the planet. And that is like after a rain, like that smell, that taste of the air after it rains, like what you feel like. And then the positive ions are like CO2 that have lost an electron, and those electrons or those ions can be absorbed by your body through like air, just through the air that you breathe. And those can be found around like technology, microwaves, the computers, the fluorescent lights, all these dense environments, like even walking on the streets, cars, exhaust, fumes, just like the heavy duty stuff that's in our reality. And it's because those CO2 molecules have lost an electron, and they're dense. They're just like, they get into our bodies and they just weigh us down, as opposed to the negative electron or the negative ions that are in like nature, like how good you feel when you go out in nature, how good you feel. Like imagine sitting next to a waterfall, like how that feels on a scientific level. Is basic. There's part of it is the absorption of negative ions with your body and your electrical field. And our chakras are all involved, or putting out, and they're expressing and downloading these ions on a regular basis within our. You can see it in even your psychology, like the positive and negative information, or the like as a whole, that gets put out like in television. Like we can see the stuff, the density space that gets weighed down in our reality when you watch TV. So you can see how all the emotional fields of just like this dramatic version of reality, this artificial version, this electronic technological space of who you are, instead of the organic natural space of who you are. And this goes into like the transhumanism space of reality, and how that is more of a denser environment, a denser field, a denser reality that is being pawned off as like, okay, like this is why, or the future, or your evolution, is because you are more susceptible to control when you're in a reactionary, lower vibration, lower chakra version of yourself, and caught up in the security field, and caught up in the fear programming. Instead of in the boxed in, like boxing in your reality, instead of expressing your natural infinite space. And the bigger issues of like not even being able to understand or connect to the planet and receive these kind of etheric negative ions, these etheric connections with nature, and your psychological negative ions of not being able to even understand the very shape and nature of the earth plane that we live on. So this goes into the ball, the so-called globe that we live on. It automatically, instinctively separates you from even seeing with your first eye what this place is, in order to connect with this place and activate these energy fields, being birthed from nature, from this earth plane, and then being told a lie automatically separates you. So this is where the flat earth comes in. Once you start connecting to that field, then you can access a deeper connection with your surroundings, your peoples, your culture, your earth plane, your past, present, and future. Your everything becomes brighter and more. Even just being like open to that space, it gives you a more of a connection. So stuff like, you can see how dinosaurs and gravity and motion, law of motion and relativity, all these laws and artificial understandings of who and what we are, keep us from internally activating these connections subconsciously in our dreams, and consciously in our waking state reality. So I just wanted to share like the simplicity of these, and how these ions, you can see these are just like an example. There's not definitely what this are, but I just use these because I don't have a lot of space. The root, sacral chakra, the solar plexus, heart, throat, and the first eye, which we have to start really seeing this as our first eye instead of calling it the third eye. And this representation, like this naming of it, it matters, because our physical eyes are they're really the second eye. They're not the third eyes, or the second and third eye. This is our first connection to the cognitive information that comes from all that is. This is how we interpret this information. This reality, it goes soul, mind, body, not body, mind, soul. So if it goes soul, mind, body, then the soul eye is our first eye. And that is the eye that looks through our crown into the infinite space. And then we get to share that vibration, that communication ion through our own vibration, our soul vibration, and express our intention and our connection ion, our intent ion with all that is in the physical space, the etheric space, the spirit space, all of the above. Once we start accessing, or first clearing out and letting go of the densities of our lower chakras in the preservation space, the survival reality, the root chakras of security and grounding, and the primal energy that we get caught up in, kind of like the so-called reptilian brain state that they reference it all. But if we look at it from the root chakra perspective, we're really uprooted on a regular basis, and that's the norm. And instead of protecting our culture and protecting our preserving our culture and preserving our natural connections, we actually get caught up in the positive ion space of density and disconnect from our negative ion space of the organic nature of our expressions. So the sacral chakra is, I put on here, is like the connection, or it could also be seen as the emotion, the emotional space, the ions of the emotion, the ions of connection, and relationships, intimacy, express ions, these get all of these get manipulated and played like a musical instrument on the television and in our school system, and how the very design of these systems get put out in front of us, and our solar plexus, how we define ourselves, our willpower, our vitality, the definition ion, like how we walk, how we shine, our fire, our depth. This gets shut down by all the food that we eat that's genetically modified and bombarded, because we have such big bellies. We gotta even like to help to cope with this reality. Food is like a prescription drug where we just consume a whole bunch of basically food positive ions that densify our reality and keep us from expressing our will and our power, and keep us from accessing our true intention, our true space of why we are here, why the whys of all reality, and don't allow us to vibrate these higher chakra information, these knowledge fields from our cognitive, all that is space. And we have no intuition anymore because we've traded it for the basic basic bogusness of the laws that have been handed down generation through generation through the university system, of the regular university and like the big hat university. So they build these, and I kind of put these right here just to these are like talking points. They don't like mean any like good and bad. This is just like an example of the simplicity and what the chakras are about. And I put these on here in the colors of the chakras as talking points to share what kind of like are the biggest things that I've seen, or actually it just came through as just like talking points, and whatever will come out, it'll come out. But I put the root chakra down as a past, present, and future because our time and our connections to our culture, our past. So like the dinosaur evolution, even the earth, the way the earth looks, talking about the flat earth model, or living your whole life believing that it's a globe when subconsciously you know, and then you like look into just the basic observations of your reality and see that this is the earth plane. Then it kind of disconnects us from our entire our records, our Akashic records, our culture, from just an observation of just the present space. We can't even connect with that because everything is upside down and backwards. Being constantly bombarded by positive ion energy of the technologies and computers and microwaves and radio waves and the exhaust fumes of everything around us. We don't know what the now is. We don't know what our presence is. And in that space of not knowing this and not being able to ground at all, we have to have our future prepositioned and set up for us, for people like NASA and the university system and the transhumanism movement, and the new world order space of like creating what your future is, because you don't know what your past is and you're not even comfortable enough to be present in your reality. So we'll just accept whatever it is because we're in a codependent state of being. The sacral chakra, our connection to each other, our emotions are constantly bombarded with positive ion energy, this dense reality, this exhaust fume that we call the television and social media and mainstream news and even the alternative news, caught up in politics and that garbage, no powerless, hopeless state of being that we are reliant on, that subconsciously removes our power and our will, because we know secretly from ourselves that why are we codependent? If we're codependent on a hopeless reality like these fake leaders, then we're really not accessing any of these harmonics at all. Everything is totally turned off, and we get caught up. Our only salvation is to have this artificial version of love where it's completely sexualized by TV, and this artificial version of not completely artificial version of divinity, but this very low budget version of divinity of just having sex and reproducing, having babies as like our divine expressions. Like, this is what we came here to do. Is just, when you look at the other side of this, is that's very well being manipulated in the system itself to keep people, to get more slaves and more chattel in this program, just fall in love, have sex, be as shallow as you can be, have babies, get them into school, make them go to work, make them be part of this grid matrix, and then believe in the globe model, believe in transhumanism, get caught up in giving your power away, be codependent on the system, and then you're good to go. That's the only reason why you came to this earth plane, is to do that. Give away your dreams, give away your power, give away your will, never access your fire or your inner strength or your self-control. Completely destroy your metabolism with genetically modified foods. Just totally have no energy, and then you will be powerless, and the will be given away. You give your will away to the Big Hat University system. And since all of these are bombarded with distraction energy, then that really blocks off your heart chakra, and you get boxed in and closed off, separate yourself, because you're a part of a hopeless state of supremacy and privilege for only a few, backwards, upside down reality, caught up in the fear mentality, totally out of balance, totally lacking the divine love, lacking the connection from yourself, never making the connection with your partner or your relationship with yourself, because you're afraid of being vulnerable with yourself or with your partner, and with your divine nature, your divine partner that comes through this information. This is the gateway to all that is, from the lower and the higher chakras, the balance beam of all these harmonics. It gets boxed in and closed off because this is all taken care of by the distraction reality and the Big Hat system. And our throat chakra is our ability to express our vibration gracefully, the information that comes through our cognitive space, our cognitive crown, and through our first eye, and then being able to be open enough and tapped into our senses enough to be able to gracefully interpret that and share that information through connection and communication and healing, and our creative vibration, our creative sharing of that energy in that moment. Grace has been removed from our reality and traded in for ego, artificial ego, and dominance, a whole patriarchal system upside down. And you can't dance on an earth plane if you believe that you're on a ball. You can't dance gracefully in the divine if you are secretly being hoarded or guided into becoming a computer or an artificial mechanical technological human being. You can't dance gracefully if you believe you came from monkeys when you actually came from something way more divine and complicated and beautiful than that. You can't dance gracefully if you're in a constant state of fear because you believe that these dinosaurs, these giants that are way bigger than you, so this whole reality exists bigger than you. When you're so small, when you shrink yourself down because you get caught up in the positive ion space, this garbage reality of control and manipulation and codependency, then you are small. So if you constantly think you're small and you're actually giant and you're actually connected and way more powerful, you can dream a lot way deeper than you actually can. If you can't root that in anything, because all these rules and laws of relativity and motion and gravity and dinosaurs and all this stuff, if all that stuff is your reality and all that stuff is being it's calcifying your first eye, then you won't be able to fully access this space. So these artificial rules and laws of relativity and motion and gravity, the complicated version of simplicity that is naturally okay without this control grid. This keeps us this anti-understanding of our divinity is self-destructive. So once we let go of that which holds us down, we'll be able to access our intuition and our clairvoyance and claircognizance and be able to see beyond what is right in our faces and what is distracting us from ourselves. First, we got to let go, because it's not so much like the New Age is all about doing something or doing something different, when really the main thing and the best thing we can do right now is stop doing the stuff that is so self-destructive in our reality. Stop doing the stuff that is holding us back from ourselves. And then what we would like to do would be completely different and seen from brighter spaces, deeper roots, and a more activated state of being. And then we'll be able to do more. But first we have to start doing less and let go of more, so we can root even deeper. And then I put up here life, death, time, and death, is because this is like these are the programs that get manipulated with fear and busyness that keep us from being cognitive of our connections to all that is in the Most High, the information that comes in, the knowledge, the wisdom that comes into this space. So we're constantly giving our life and our time away to an idea, an American dream, or whatever kind of program that gets downloaded into our energy centers, and in a constant state of fear involving death, when actually these are all just doorways. Life, time, and death. This is our experience. This is our doorway here. This is our doorway there, and it's all the same door. But as long as it's manipulated to be caught up in a state of fear, then we are never going to be able to access our power beyond that. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. That's pretty much everything. If we start letting go of everything I wanted to talk about, but my main point was starting to let go of these laws, this technological dependency program that we have in this new age / new world order reality that's being pawned off as our future. This whole extraterrestrial. Instead of looking into dimensions, we're looking into falsities of our reality, looking for an outside savior and all this other stuff. Before we even access our true powers, we're trying to create superheroes because That's what the system is designed, like the Hollywood television scene is designed to make us do, is look outside of ourselves instead of accessing our true infinite power, our infinite divine nature of existence. And once we let go of all of the densities, the positive ions that are out there that weigh us down, we'll be able to access a part of ourselves that's a lot bigger and a lot more connected to each other than we've ever done before. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, peace, love, and harmony.